Hi there, happy voting season to you all. I cast my vote today. I identify as a conservative right-center person in India. And the line of questioning that I get right afterwards goes like this. So are you a Sanghi? Are you affiliated with RSS? Well, and isn't RSS fascist? Isn't the ideology of Hindutva, which was proposed by Savarkar, fascist? And wasn't it involved in the assassination of Gandhi? Well, time out. Honestly speaking, I believe that we are largely ignorant about the right wing in India because we never really learn about them, like sit down and actually study them. And we are taught from a very young age that they are fascist and evil and they want to destroy everything multi-ethnic, multicultural, multi-religious in India. So in this video, let's look at what right wing really looks like in India, especially the history of right wing. And here by right wing I mean RSS and the Hindu Mahasabha. They may not be as monstrous as we think, or maybe they are, but let's find that out in this video. It all starts with the partition of Bengal in 1905. The All India Muslim League was formed a year after, that is in 1906, and they had a very clear and specific purpose, that is the political representation of Muslims in British India. And in 1909, more in line with the divisive policy of rule by the British, the Morley-Minto reforms created separate electorates for Muslims, and that was a direct result of the lobbying and political efforts from the part of Muslim League. And the Hindus, especially the religious Hindus, were concerned about this, and they saw the need to create an organization for getting their rights secured. And it led to the creation of the Hindu Mahasabha. And from 1905 or 1906 itself, there have been regional Hindu Sabhas all across India in Bihar, Bengal, Calcutta, Bombay, etc. But in April 1915, all of these came together to become the Sarvadeshak Hindu Sabha, that is All India Hindu Sabha. And it was flagged off during the Kumbh Mela in Haridwar. Arya Samaj had a great influence on Hindu Mahasabha. Up until then, Arya Samaj never had a political character to it, but Hindu Mahasabha heavily relied on the teachings and the way of thinking that Arya Samaj proposed. The early leaders of Hindu Mahasabha included educationalist and Congress President Madan Mohan Malaviya, who also founded the Banaras Hindu University, Punjabi populist Lala Lajpat Rai, and his mentor Naveen Chand Rai. In the inauguration, Gandhiji and Swami Shraddhananda were all present. Here it's probably worth noting that Hindu Mahasabha was affiliated with Congress until Savarkar. They sought the unification of Hindus under one political banner and also socio-cultural banner. They wanted the upliftment of all classes of Hindus and to reduce the inequality between them. And they stayed away from all the anti-British movements spearheaded by the INC, Indian National Congress. I think that was because they were opposed to the policies of the Congress. But do you know a more specific or more precise reason? If you do, please let me know in the comment section. The Khilafat movement was Gandhiji's mastermind to unite Hindus and Muslims during the non-cooperation movement. So I am sure you all know about Khilafat movement, but the Caliphate was dismantled after its defeat in the World War I, and the Ottoman Empire was also defeated, and the Muslims in India was allowed to protest against it under the banner of Indian National Congress. But then riots and violence and chaos broke out in different parts of India as the aftermath of the Khilafat movement. In the early 1920s, riots multiplied, including in South India, where intercommunal relationship had been traditionally much less tense. In fact, a large riot occurred in what is now Kerala, caused by economic frustrations among the Mappilas. This cannot be farther from the truth. It was not an agrarian protest or a revolution, it was a pogrom against the Hindus living in Malabar region and Kerala at large at that time. We have historical evidence proving the same. That once again rekindled the importance and the relevance of Hindu Mahasabha, and that was also when the greatest leader that Hindu Mahasabha has ever known, Veer Savarkar or Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, was born. The leader in him, not the person. Once again, I'm sure you're all aware of Savarkar's beginnings, but he was a revolutionary for which he was sentenced to decades of severe conditions in the cellular jail, where he realizes the Islamic threat or the threat of jihad, and he writes multiple letters to the British asking him to be transferred out of the cellular jail, which was granted in 1921. He was transferred to the Ratnagiri jail, where he wrote his most famous work, Hindutva, Who is a Hindu? Who is a Hindu and what is Hindutva? Let's look at that now. Savarkar believed that any person who regarded Bharat or India as the Holy Land and his fatherland would be considered a Hindu. And it was not either or, it was an and. You have to consider India as your fatherland and your holy land. And therefore, Vedism, Sanatanism, Jainism, Buddhism, Lingayatism, Sikhism, the Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, Dev Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, and such other religions of Hindustani origin were Hindus, and they constituted Hindudom or Hindutva. But the Indian Muslims, Christians, Parsis, Jews were excluded from the right to claim themselves as Hindus, in spite of India being their fatherland. So that is the important distinction that Savarkar makes in identifying the Hindu. The CPM government is definitely eating away our electricity. Three main features of Hindutva were geographical unity, racial features, and a common culture. So Hindutva denotes the identity of the Aryan people or the people of Aryan bloodline. Hindu Rashtra is another very important part of the Hindutva ideology. Hindu Rashtra, that is the Hindu nation, is the abode and the nation of all Hindus. That is the people who consider their fatherland and their holy land as Bharat or India. Savarkar writes, the territorial patriots wanted the Hindus to cease to be Hindus, at least as a national and political unit. The territorial patriots here mean the INC and the secular people who just thought that geographical unity was necessary for state building. Some of them actually glorified in disowning themselves as Hindus at all. But Muslims are Muslims first and Muslims last, and Indians never. So Hindu Rashtra is a Hindu majority rule that honors Aryan or Vedic culture, race and territory and defends it from any foreign non-Hindu aggressors. So after being released from jail in 1937, Savarkar joined the Hindu Mahasabha and served as its president for 7 years. And he is the link between Hindu Mahasabha, RSS and the BJP. RSS, founded by Keshav Baliram Hedgewar, was another consequence of the Khilafat movement. And that's when Hedgewar reads Savarkar's Hindutva book that he wrote from jail. And he was greatly influenced by that book, and he went to meet him in the Ratnagiri prison in 1925. And right after, he founds the RSS. Like Hindu Mahasabha, RSS also doesn't take part in any of the anti-British movements started by the Congress, but they focused on Hindus and building the Hindu Rashtra. Hedgewar believed that the Hindu, especially the Hindu youth, were weak and ununited, and that is why they had masters. So to counter that, they went into the grassroots levels. They created local shakhas in towns and villages according to a standard pattern. Young Hindu men gathered every morning and every evening on a playground for games with martial connotations and ideological training sections. The Prajaraks, who were the renunciators who never got married or started a family life, were full-time involved with the RSS, and they took the training sessions. And they started to confront Muslims, and the Muslims quote-unquote suppression of Hindus in many areas. They started march fasting or walking in front of the mosques, which were unprecedented before RSS. Instead of a political representation or a political movement, they worked with the youth and they built the youth up. That's what they focused on. Now, Gandhi's assassination changed everything. Hindu Mahasabha was named a culprit in the assassination of Gandhi, and it became insignificant in India after that. But RSS got more power and influence among the people because of its active stand rescuing Hindu refugees during the partition. Now, the post-independence activities of RSS require a completely other video, so I will try to make that video soon, so don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, that is basically what Hindu Mahasabha and RSS is all about. But so coming back to the questions that I mentioned in the beginning, Hindu nationalism in India is not a problem, but extremism definitely is. And both RSS and Hindu Mahasabha held extremist views, be it Savarkar's Hindutva or Golwarkar's RSS or RSS under Golwarkar. I've not touched upon that here. That's again another video. Radical and fundamental Islam is definitely a problem, just as colonialism was. They are very correct to make that observation. But rejecting a Muslim's or an Indian Muslim's identity and patriotism because of their religion is definitely taking it too far, and it's definitely wrong. There is a huge gap between the two statements. What Hindu nationalists at that time saw was jihad, and that made them wary of India's future. And that is a very legitimate concern. But the Congress never agreed with them on the radical, violent nature of Islam or the threat of jihad. We see it on a global scale today. Creating a Hindu Rashtra where Muslims can never feel at home is absolutely an extremist view. RSS has largely succeeded at Hindu revivalism and curbing jihad in India. If we reject the extremism, we see the alignment of RSS with the Hindu religious leadership like Aurobindo, Vivekananda, Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, and so forth. And that is a very honorable cause to fight for. Building Bharat or India to its true cultural, political, and economic glory. So let's chug extremism and focus on rebuilding up Bharat. Let's end this video on that note. I hope you liked this video, and I'm also sure you have a lot to say about this. So share all your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. More videos are coming. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome voting season. Bye bye. Hi guys, and here is the first book I have written, Life in a Ziploc Bag. Please check it out on Amazon or Flipkart. And it's also available for direct buying from the publisher itself. All these links are given in the description. Grab your copy now. Thank you.